There's a hunger in all of us. It drives us to win championships. It moves us to fix injustice. It compels us to protect and serve the less fortunate. Hunger can push us to the edge. Hunger can make us corrupt. Hunger can push us towards power. Hunger can press us towards fame. We can hunger for fortune. We can hunger to be loved. We can hunger for money. We can hunger for the right things in life. We can hunger for the wrong things in life. And if we're not careful, hunger will define us. And in the end, we're just left empty. As I look around, I see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the things of this world that we hunger for. I have seen the things that we feed on, that we allow to shape us, that we allow to drive us, and that we allow to give our lives meaning and perspective. In every case, we see the things that we think will fill our lives, that will satisfy our deepest cravings, and they fall short. And the things that we were driven towards end up controlling us, and we lose who we are in them. And sometimes it costs us everything. The nourishment we seem to look for isn't found in the things that we hoped for, like sports or like politics or in organized religion and philosophies or any place in this world. You see, that kind of hunger that will satisfy our deepest cravings are only found in one place. They're found in Jesus. Now, I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about organized Christianity. I'm talking about the one true God who created all things and holds them together in the palm of his hands. The one who came into a world that was broken by our desires, by our cravings, by our hungers. And in all of that brokenness, he shows up to show us again what he is like and who we really are when we find ourselves in him. You see, Jesus came to call the lost, those who have propped up things in their lives and made them more important than God. Jesus came to rescue those who have failed and let their failures define them. Jesus came for those who are controlled by their passions and their desires, and those who are burnt out and feel like they're at their wits' end. You see, the brokenness in this world is always found in what we define as good and bad. Yet we all look within and without into this world for something to fulfill a hunger that each one of us have. For some it's money. For some it's the need to be loved. For some they got to be the most important person in the room. For some people they just have to have the best career. For some people they have to have the biggest house on the biggest hill. For some they just need to feel important. We all have a longing, a hunger inside of us that we're longing to fulfill and satisfy in this world. But we overlook the real Jesus who came into our brokenness and healed it and gave us something that no one else could give: resurrection. He did this so we could know how to love again, so that we would know the intangible things of God and that they would be allowed to once again fill our lives so that we would never hunger again. The real Jesus heals our broken desires and our broken wants. The real Jesus gives us back who we are so we're not slaves to broken identities, that we're not slaves to broken sexuality or broken desires. The real Jesus frees us and gives us freedom. He frees us from philosophies, from politics, from having to be the best guy or the best sportsman or this best sportswoman. He frees us from the propositions that we place on ourselves and the inferences that we place on others. Jesus has come to restore our identity, to resurrect Him in us so that we may find ourselves in Him and find our true selves and all its potentials in the Creator that created us. He heals us and He gives us His love. And we know this love because He demonstrated it. We understand this demonstration every Easter. It's something we can point to historically. It's something that many of us can point to in our hearts because He's resurrected the deadness in our lives and given us abundant life. He asks us to follow Him to that cross, to die to those things that we know that will never satisfy us, so that He can resurrect in us true life, those intangible things only found in God, those substances that He fills our heart, our spirit, our mind, and our soul, and our lives with, that are only found in one person, Jesus. You know, Jesus came one day and He said, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall never hunger, and whoever places their trust in me will never thirst. It is Jesus and Jesus alone who can satisfy you and who can satisfy me. He is the bread of heaven, and He is the feast for this life. I want you to know that you don't have to live in want anymore, that you don't have to go searching for identity and looking elsewhere for something to satisfy your hunger. I want you to know that you can come to a God who has proven His love to you by dying for you and all the brokenness in this world, so that He may resurrect life, love, and call you a child of God. That's pretty awesome. That's the real Jesus. And that's the Jesus who can quench your soul.